Why, hello, welcome to Capstone Thursday. Um, this week you have taken notes on at least three sources, videos, or articles, and we've been working all week on listing out the important facts, but then also in all capital letters, stating your opinion that those facts make you think. Okay? So today, what you're going to do is you're going to go back and look at what you've researched, and you're going to think about which opinion um, you want to write about this week. And just a reminder, when you do it, you are starting with your opinion, and then you are adding evidence, like so 2 bits of evidence, and then you're explaining your evidence. And it would also be great if you get a naubis in there. But your evidence should be specific. So like last week, people would say something like, lots of children are affected by the refugee crisis. That is evidence, but even better would be giving like a number. Like every year, 2.5 million kids can't go to school because they're in a refugee camp or something like that. Many of you had stuff like that. Like someone talked about the Jim Crow laws in the South. Great evidence in their response, but they didn't say what any of the laws were. So, or what years they were. So those kind of things you should really like. You're giving evidence, but give me the numbers, give me the dates, give me the definitions of things. Okay, that will really pump it up. So I want to show you a few responses that I thought were really great last week. This one comes from Juan David. He labeled it Capstone Opinion Number 1, which is beautiful. Thank you for that, Juan David. That makes it easy to follow. His is pretty long, but I want you to see that the basic ingredients are here. Throughout my capstone research, I've learned that during the epidemics and pandemics, I learned that these people who went through these types of things must have had a rough time, just like the coronavirus pandemic we are going through. So his opinion is that in the course of history, anytime there's been an epidemic or pandemic, people have had a very rough time. Okay, clear opinion. Now, I think this because in the 1918 Spanish flu, so many people were dying at one rate. They had to throw the bodies in a mass grave. This shows that it was probably a struggle for the people back then, since if more people were going to die, they had to think more, which probably caused stress, as well as the family of the member who died. So you can see he's giving specific info. He's talking about how so many people died that they had to dig a mass grave for people. And I think that proves his opinion that people really struggled during these pandemics. And I also like that he explained his evidence. Okay. And then he said, more like millions throughout these epidemics and pandemics, as well as the people trying to contain the virus. Because during the 2014 Ebola virus epidemic, one way the virus spread rapidly was if a victim of the family died, they would do a whole tradition. And that meant more people getting it. So it was a rough time to contain it. So again, he's now giving a specific year of during the Ebola virus that they had like a tradition for when people died, but then the dead body was spreading the virus to the people at that like funeral tradition. And he goes on to give more and more examples of how people struggled during these pandemics. So he gives opinion, he gives evidence, he explains it, and he goes after it. It's such a good response. Here's Gael's. Gael is actually adding to his response, so it's going to be even better. He's adding statistics, but I'm just going to read what he has so far. And Gael's response has all the ingredients, but it is also extremely organized and easy to follow. Opinion response number 1. Poaching to sell animal parts is a big problem and can lead to extinction. I think that it is important to stop this. He hits you right in the face with his opinion that poaching is a big problem and it leads to extinction. He also thinks we should stop it. His opinion is so clear, and you can tell all these articles kind of led him to that. The white rhino from Kenya is almost extinct because people poach them to sell their expensive, valuable, and popular horns. Oh, so he tells me a specific animal and where it's from, and that why people poach it, because they want their horns. Another example is that elephants can go extinct because of their expensive tusks. So again, an animal and exactly why people are poaching it. Even though poaching is illegal, people still do it anyway. I think the government should do more to protect all endangered species. This is beautiful. 2 examples, but then he even gives me information about even that poaching is illegal, but people still do it. And he gives an opinion in there that the government should do more. It's just such a beautiful response. It's so easy to read because of all the commas, the periods, the paragraphs. It's just phenomenal. Okay. Phenomenal, 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 phenomenal. This is what your response should look like. And finally, we look at Kellen's. And yeah, the second week in a row, Kellen's response has been on here because not only did he write a good one to begin with, he took my feedback last week that I emailed to everyone and worked on it, which I was really wanting everyone to do. Okay. Sinkholes can be very beautiful in some places, but they are very dangerous. Clear. Sinkholes are beautiful, but dangerous. They can kill people and come without warning. There was a sinkhole in China, and because it was very dangerous, because it swallowed up 2 entire buildings. In addition, some homes and people get swallowed up without warning. Although you may not think a sinkhole disaster could happen to you, it can because your car can fall into them when they suddenly open up on roadways. Although they can be very nice and look like swimming holes when it happens in a forest or field, they are still very dangerous. If you see sinkholes with water in it, don't just go swimming. Scientists have proven that sinkholes can be anywhere from 3 to 2,000 feet deep in diameter and depth. You may want to take a swim in a sinkhole, but evidence shows that the sides of a sinkhole take approximately 24 hours to stop shifting and growing. This means that the sinkhole is unstable until it hits bedrock, as it stops growing once the sides or bottom hit the bedrock, which is a very hard rock. Okay, amazing. So much evidence, so much explanation. This is what your responses should look like. Please label them opinion response number 2 and get yourself on the video next week. Okay?